Good morning. You're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna. Well, it's been really busy around here. I don't know how it is at your house at this time of the year, but it's been really busy. And we've had a stomach bug going around, diarrhea and throwing up. So that's added extra work into the picture of cleaning all that up and sanitizing and taking care of sick loved ones. So it's been pretty busy around here. But I wanted to just come on here and share a few things with you. And one of the things is how to put a second bloom on eggs that you gather from your chicken coop that look like this. Now this has a lot of bacteria on these eggs because it's mud and what else there? All that's in the chicken coop is on there. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just lay down a towel right here, a clean white towel. And I'm going to put a rack on top of that towel. And I'll show you what we use that for here in a minute. Now we wish all the eggs that we gathered would be like this. No need to wash them. Perfectly laid, clean, with the bloom on and ready to put it in your eggs and you can use. And then you got some that's just got a little bit on them. And then some of them you get are really, really dirty. Well, what I do is just run up 2 pans of really, really cold water. Just as cold as you can get it from your tap, and add some ice if you want to. But I'm going to go ahead and add these really dirty eggs into this water. The problem with eggs being like this, of course, is there was a bloom on this shell, but this is bacteria. This is dirt and bacteria, and it will get into your egg, and that causes that egg not to last as long, and that egg not to be good. And that's not what you want. This is all part of having chickens. You do everything you can to prevent these eggs from coming out dirty. You keep your chicken house and your coop clean. But the thing about it is you can't always prevent it, because when it rains here, and it rains a lot, then our coop is exceptionally dirty. And that causes the chicken. Well, this is a blooper. We're not going to have to worry about these eggs because I just knocked the whole basket off and they're all over the floor. So I'm going to clean these up and go on with our video. Dropping one egg is a mess, but dropping a whole dozen of dirty eggs, that's a whole different ball game. I just take a bag. I took a dustpan and got up all the eggshells and all the dirty eggs that I could. And then, like over here, I'm just going to take a bag and get up as much egg as I can right here. And just put it in the bag. And just keep doing this until I get all the egg up. And then I've got my go-to soap here that I use for things like this. And it's called Charlie's Soap. Charlie's Soap is made not far from here. And it's a really, really good soap. This says laundry pre-spray, but as you read the back of the label, you can use this on anything that's washable. It cleans all the way to the fiber, leaving nothing but the good old-fashioned sweet smell of clean. It's non-toxic and hypoallergenic and safe for the environment. They do have a website. You can go research Charlie's soap. I think they sell it at Food Line now. And it is an excellent soap. Let me see if I got, there you go, I got you that website there and the address. But I'm just going to go ahead and spray this down really good with Charlie's soap. I've got a bucket of water here. I'm going to scrub this little carpet and clean this up, and then I'll get on with and show you what I was trying to show you about the eggs. Well, I got them cleaned up. I got those eggs that I knocked off cleaned up. Now I could have just left that part out, cut that out. You would have never known I dropped those eggs. But I'm trying to be authentic. I want you to see all the things that goes on that I can possibly show you, to just show you the realistic way that it is to try to get all this done. I have impingement syndrome in this right shoulder, so I'm having to use my left hand. And it's not my dominant hand, so it's a struggle. I also have the grandchildren here today. You may hear them in the background. And I'm just trying to share with you how I put a second bloom on these eggs that I harvest that are dirty like that. So I've got these dirty eggs right here in this pot of cold water. I add just a few drops of Castile soap. I add that in there, and I'm going to wash these. I'm going to scrub these eggs up, and we're going to put them in this water. But while these are soaking in those few drops of Castile soap, I'm going to share with you what I put in this water. Now I've got a quart of water here, and I take usually about at least 1 egg per quart of water. 1 egg white. So I've got an egg here. I'm going to go ahead and crack it. I'm going to drain out my egg white into the quart of water. And I'm going to save my yolk. Put the eggshells in the recycling. Now that's 1 egg white that's in this quart of water, and I'm just going to mix that up really, really good. And I'm going to need 4 more eggs, because over here in this bowl of water, I've got to add the 4 eggs. There's a gallon of water in here, and we want at least 1 egg white per quart. So I'm going to have to add 4 more egg whites.
What are you doing?
Making a video.
Oh, I see.
So I'm just adding the whites.
The what?
Of course, the whites look pretty dark because, you know, those are rich eggs.
And I like doing that with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how. That one slipped right in there.
I know. I don't want the yolk in there, just the whites.
You don't want the yolk in it?
No, I'm making an egg wash for our eggs.
The yolk's sliding in.
They are. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and whip up
My
this.
slime with my dinosaur.
David, I'm making a video. Can you go for the belly till I'm all done? So I'm going to whip this up. 1 egg white per quart of water. Now I'm going to go ahead and wash the eggs that I've got over here. Now I've got this where I cleaned up the eggs earlier and I couldn't wash it because my sink is busy, so. Now I'll just take these dirty eggs and I take this scrub brush that I've got right here and I just lightly scrub that dirt off of those eggs. And then I put it in my egg mixture that I've got over here. And I keep doing this until I get all of the dirt off of these eggs. Now these are fresh eggs. These are eggs that I've harvested today. I don't leave the dirt on them. I don't even give them a chance to penetrate into that egg. When they come in dirty, if they're dirty like this, I just go ahead and wash them in this gentle soap, this Castile soap I got over here. Now what the bloom does is it creates an encapsulated airtight little vessel in your egg. And that's what allows the eggs not to dry out and not to go bad for about 3 months. Maybe even longer than that if you refrigerate them. But when you've got dirt and all the stuff that's in a chicken coop covered on your eggs, you want to be sure that you clean all that off. You don't want that in your kitchen. You don't want it on your eggs. Now I'm taking the bloom off of these eggs. The natural bloom that the hen, when she laid this egg, that it would cover this egg, I'm taking that off right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm washing off that bacteria, but along with that bacteria is coming that bloom. That bloom is coming off. But that's okay, because when we put it back in here, the egg whites that we put down in there, that's going to be our second bloom. So I just do that until I have all these eggs washed up. So I've got all that bacteria off of these eggs. I've got these down here in the egg mixture. Now I save my egg yolks and I put them in my coffee and do other things with them. Now that we've got these eggs washed and dipped down into our second bloom, into our egg mixture, remember it's 1 egg white per quart of water. And I'm just going to lay them over here on this rack. And I'm going to let these eggs air dry. And it's got that second bloom on them now. Now you can pretty well imagine that a bloom would be the same thing that was made in what made an egg, right? And if you have any experience with eggs, you know that they can be very sticky and very gluey. I think the Victorians used egg whites for glue. That was a very basic glue for a long time. So this is not an unusual concept. Now I just let these eggs air dry. And they'll air dry and they'll look like a normal egg. You won't be able to tell any difference between these that have been washed and rebloomed and the eggs that you already have. But I will let you know what I usually do. I usually go ahead and put these eggs in the refrigerator. And they do just fine. And that's how you rebloom eggs, dirty eggs, after you've washed them and brought them in, so that your eggs will last longer and they'll be cleaner. Well, thank you for joining me today and let me share that with you, for bearing with me. I hope everything's great for you today in your household. And like always, until next time. Now this blooming egg whites and water mixture, of course, you just pour that down the drain and go right ahead and wash that bowl right up.